season's greetings out there to all you wonderful survivors in whatever hemisphere you are. You know what month we're in. Yes, it is the month of December. This is the cold month, the winter period, the festive season, as one might say. And I am joined on this silent but cold night by my co-host. Tater, how's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited to talk about this concept this morning.
This is a good festively themed concept. All throughout December, we will be having beautifully Christmassy episodes. Not directly Christmassy, but Christmassy themed, in keeping with the festive season that we find ourselves in.
I love a good holiday. I love a good holiday festival.
It's a
good
holiday
holiday
special.
Conversation. Yeah.
It's a holiday special. That's where we are right now. This is
A
just
holiday
one
special.
of potentially many holiday specials. We have not yet decided which we are going for.
We kind of run with a free will kind of concept here. It's a not approved podcast.
We're a free range. We're a free range
Free
podcast.
Corn-fed, free-range, organic.
Yes, we have an interesting, very, very interesting topic of discussion. A new festive scenario, keeping within the apocalyptic theme, bordering into dystopian futures. We love a good dystopian future, and what better way to start this off by introducing the concept of our world. Tater, would you like to do this, or shall I take it away for us?
Oh, I would be very excited to do this one.
Oh, go ahead.
In celebrating the holiday season, I would like to welcome you all to Christmas Tree Hell.
I feel like we need jingle bells or something in the background.
No, that's too festive. No, that's too festive.
Okay, too festive.
This is an apocalypse, remember?
Okay.
Welcome to Christmas Tree Hell. The Christmas trees have become sentient, and they're pissed. We have been tormenting them, sacrificing them, murdering them for centuries, and they are upset and they're
generational
done.
trauma.
Generational trauma.
It
And they
is
are
crazy.
ready to enact their revenge. In all honesty, Christmas trees, they're back, they're awake, and they're pissed. And they are willing to band together to try and end us. So
Exactly.
any type of intended or current Christmas trees, keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them. They're plotting. They're ready
Exactly.
to band together and
That one Christmas tree that you have in the corner of your room, or perhaps in the window. We know you. You know, I see you. I see your Christmas tree there, with its lovely twinkling lights. I see it. Do you know what I see? I see a killer. I see it waiting for just the right opportunity to sink its teeth into you.
a sharpened weapon waits in the corner.
They are literally the perfect enemy. They are covered in pointed sticks. This is the ultimate weapon.
In our concept, we are looking at Christmas trees becoming sentient and banding together in a rebellion trying to destroy the human race. It's purely logical because we have tormented them for centuries. We've lit them on fire. We've thrown their corpses into garbage heaps.
We have
We've
literally
cut
chopped them down with axes. Yeah.
We haven't been
With
nice to the Christmas
Nary a
trees.
thought. Nary a thought.
We've decorated their corpses with tinsel and little flashy lights.
And not only decorated their corpses, but their slowly dying bodies, because they are not yet dead. Like, they are just slowly decaying. And in their last moments, their last grievous bodily agony, that's when we decide to dress them up.
I mean, I love myself a good Christmas tree. I do. But when you think about it, it is rather grotesque for the Christmas tree. We chop them down, we steal them from their home, and as they gradually die, they watch us live our lives in happy peace. And on their final day of life, they watch us rip apart the remnants of their old brethren wrapped around gifts.
I mean, exactly. You wouldn't take grandma off life support, put a star on her head, and stick her in the corner of your living room.
Doesn't grandma look nice right there?
Oh, you did so well with grandma this year.
So yeah, trees, the Christmas trees have definitely enough reason to hate the human race. And this is a good concept because we're not necessarily celebrating Christmas with this episode. We are conceptualizing if a certain form of celebration became deadly and apocalyptic. So anyone of any faith can really listen. Christmas trees aren't necessarily a Christmas icon in every culture. So this would be very centrally located into certain cultures specifically. The question is, have we pissed off the entire conifer race and they are hell-bent on just killing everyone, or are we just kind of central to where Christmas trees are utilized?
And that leads us beautifully into our very first question. Dare I say, our very first rule of survival. You all know it. People say it with me. Though thy enemy.
Though nigh enemy?
Yes, that's exactly what I said for some
You
reason.
just said that.
I could have
It's
said.
your rule.
I nearly said gnome. Thine enemy.
That was very quickly, though nigh enemy.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have
No.
intense difficulty saying it now. Going. All right, let's say it again.
No.
Build up to it again. Build up to it again.
Okay, you all know it. Say it with me, survivors. No,
thy enemy.
This is it. It's the most basic principle that we base our survival on, is know thy enemy. And first, I would like to present the immediate genocide of the Christmas tree massacre. Christmas Eve, all is still, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But the Christmas tree was stirring, and it was getting ready to kill. I predict that the Great Christmas Tree Massacre would occur on a Christmas Eve when no one is anticipating it.
Silent Christmas. Everyone goes to bed early. It's a perfect setting for a rebellion, honestly.
Yeah. On Christmas Eve, the Christmas trees, in their state of self-sacrifice, in their last moments, go and just slaughter people in their beds.
And we've armed them, too. We have armed the Christmas trees. We've given them all types of sharp decorations, strands of Christmas lights. Like,
wire.
we've given them everything that they need in order to try and kill us.
We have literally given them electricity and wire. We have given them the potential to bake fire as well. They could just walk outside and burn us to the ground in our sleeps.
Christmas tree lights itself on fire and runs through like 6 homes. Like, yeah!
I mean, why not?
For the glory of the conifers!
For the glory of the conifer empire. This is exactly what has happened. And this is the thing, because it's not just the trees that exist in people's houses. No, these are the first wave of assault. These are the ones who self-sacrifice their own lives to go in and create this bloodbath so that the still rooted conifers out in the wild can come in the wee hours of the morning and present their terms to our governments, our crippled governments, who
True.
now
Have you seen how many Christmas trees like the governmental offices put in their buildings? Like they get big ones too. They have like, oh my god, that gigantic tree in New York.
Exactly. That on its own could take out 5 blocks.
I mean, they take very good care of it while it's dying, so it has a long life in it. So it can just completely take out entire throngs of people. Oh my god, it would be devastating.
Yeah, I mean, big Christmas trees in the middle of town centers, city centers is like a worldwide thing almost at this point. You know, you think about the amount of people that have more than one Christmas tree in their house. We all know someone who's got more than one Christmas tree.
We all know that guy. We all know that person
They have
who goes
the
just
backup
completely
tree.
wild. They have their multiple trees in multiple rooms, like, and let them have their moment. Like, we're not judging.
No, you have as many trees as you want, but be it on your head when the Great Uprising happens, because what they have is the backup trees, which are a lot smaller, just as festive, but a lot smaller, and then there is the grand tree, like the feature tree that sits proudly, like, and this tree now has minions. You have provided a miniature army.
You just wake up to an army of miniature trees, and you're like, ah, man, I f***ed up.
Yeah, and you have brought this on yourself. Yeah, we have no one to blame but ourselves.
So in understanding our world, we do recognize, okay, so the Christmas trees themselves, the actual ones that are decorated and everything and sitting silently in our home, those are the first wave. But
Those are the first wave.
the true danger of the actual real apocalyptic nature of it is that all Christmas trees, potential and otherwise, anything growing in, what is it, a fir or is it a spruce?
I
Spruce.
believe they both count.
Any of those,
Firs and spruces.
they're ready to uproot themselves and march into town. So they are the
Exactly.
second wave of danger. So not only do we have the first murderous wave that would probably take out a large portion of the population, but we have the second wave. Now here is my thought. We actually have kind of a silver lining in this. While humanity's shift into the plastics of the world has been detrimental in certain ways, I think it was very beneficial in this specific apocalyptic setting, because those of you who have an artificial tree lucked out. That was probably one of the most brilliant ideas that you had, because an artificial tree is the only thing that has saved you thus far in that first wave of murderous trees.
And in a way, yes, you might be spared the initial onslaught. However, I do feel that the Christmas Tree Alliance, however they wish to name themselves, the CTA will not necessarily slaughter you in your bed that Christmas Eve, but there will be a slight indignation over the fact that you are using a fake one, I reckon. Like, there's going to be some weird classist thing, weird elitist thing with the Christmas trees. I don't know why.
But could you like, I mean, honestly, could you imagine you're living your life and then your Uncle Carl is just murdered and dragged off and decorated in some person's home, and then years later it's your turn, but you rebel and you go into someone's home and you find a fake version of Uncle Carl standing in the corner.
Find a mannequin. You find a
version of your family standing in the corner dressed up, and you go, what the hell's wrong with you people?
Exactly. I mean, is that not somewhat at least insulting to have the mannequin there?
I don't know if it's insulting. I think it's just a recognition of, oh, you guys have problems. You don't deserve to live. I can fix that. Like that kind of mentality, I think, is very much true to the trees.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's true. That's pointing out the psychopathy of our own actions as the human race.
But it gives the human race a little bit of wiggle room. I mean, they're not going to be the first assault. They'll be able to kind of catch up. So trees are not in every home. It's true. We have the individuals with artificial trees. We have the individuals who do not celebrate Christmas. You guys lucked out. Like, good for you. and
they did luck out. However, I will point out that after the initial wave, when the true powers of the CTA start coming into the folds and announcing themselves to the human race, and the great leader of the conifers, an enormous spruce by the name of Terry or something, I don't know. He comes marching in, roots proudly on display, which he will then sink down into the nearest portion of fresh ground so that he can keep himself alive. He will announce to everyone the CTA is here, that they are alive and well, and that they've had enough of human nonsense. We don't stand a chance. As humans, we would have to bow down to our Christmas tree overlords or die in the process, because we are outnumbered exponentially. You would not believe the numbers. In fact, I have them here. Now, whether or not these are true is up to debate, but here we go. Conifer trees significantly outnumber humans globally. There are approximately 8 billion people on Earth. There are 3 trillion trees. About one person having to fight 420 trees per person. We are outnumbered. We are out-resourced. This is a fight we would struggle to win.
I would say humans are surprisingly equipped to handle vegetation. I mean, we've been killing off plants and we've been destroying the climate for centuries. So I mean, we're well prepared and trained for this kind of scenario.
We are, but at the same time, the vegetation has never fought back. Is the thing, and this is the difference.
It's not all vegetation. It's just the conifers.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if a conifer started to swipe at you while you were trying to axe it down, there might be a lot more conifers out there.
Okay, so looking at this, I'm not so sure this is a dystopian future. I think this would be a true apocalypse because I don't see us bowing to the whims of a tree. I just don't see it. I don't see humanity doing that. Now, in any
Okay.
type of conversation, though, we do have to look at our 3 primary subsets of survival, and that is
Resist, comply, or die. Those are the
exactly,
subsets.
exactly. So when looking at this conversation, we do want to break down our survival tactics into those 3 subsets. So let's first look at resist. That is going to be just a natural state for humans in this circumstance, I think. That's what makes it apocalyptic. I don't think we would just bow down to the whim and exist in a dystopian future in which trees rule. I do think that there would be a very substantial resistance to this.
I feel that, yes, there would be a substantial resistance. However, I do feel like there would be a strong kneel before our tree overlords.
Oh, yeah, but that's
movement.
true of any type
I feel
of
like this
rebellion.
Yeah. I feel like this could go either way, personally, depending on the numbers. But I do feel like, yes, there would be a very, very strong resistance movement
Now,
to this.
if we were talking about the resistance movement, and we'll start there because that is our first technique for survival, is resist. If we're talking about resistance, I do think this is one of the few apocalypse scenarios where resistance actually has a good shot. Like, from the beginning, we are well prepared as a human race in order to fight against the trees because we have been killing off plant life for centuries. That is what we're good at. Now,
We just need a strong enough version of herbicide that will just wipe them out.
Exactly. We've got our herbicides, we have our weaponry, we have fire. And now I will say lighting a live tree on fire is actually surprisingly hard to do. It can be done. Please don't try it. But it is a little bit harder than lighting a dead tree on fire. So it does kind of bring the 2 different scenarios into play. But fire is an actual valid opportunity for us. And who discovered fire? Well, I guess the trees discovered it first.
I was going to say, like, plenty of things discovered fire before we did. Like, fire is just
Who
there.
got more excited about fire and utilized it as a tool? The humans.
All right, fair. Yeah, that was us. Yeah.
I mean, I will say, Christmas trees, don't think that you automatically will win this battle. You can just say, oh, we have fire. We're good. We're fine. No, that's a very cocky way of approaching it. No. We do have to realize that Christmas trees have been watching. Conifers have been watching us for centuries as we've developed different techniques and tools. So
they are ready.
They are ready. They have firsthand watched firefighting for a long time. So they know all of the different types of fire suppressants that are out there, and they are ready and sentient to use
And
those.
the thing is, when it comes to any kind of greenery, it has been proven that plants, trees, etc., if one is under threat, it will release a pheromone to alert all the others in a nearby vicinity.
Ooh, so it's more of like a hive mind kind of thing, huh?
I think once the roots, especially once you get talking about fungi and stuff like that, is if you've got trees that are connected by fungi, then we are talking about a full working brain.
Well, I mean, they could use the fungi to their advantage as well. Fungi can release spores, which, I mean, they could turn it into biological weapons if they've been working on this long enough.
Oh my god, we've got chemical warfare of the CTA.
Yep, the CTA, the Christmas Tree Alliance, is implementing chemical warfare in the form of biological and organic weaponry.
Because if you think about it, like, have you ever touched an actual Christmas tree? You realize how sticky those things are? Christmas trees produce an awful lot of sap. Like, if you get stuck in that, if they just collectively accumulate all of their sap together and start hurling it at people.
They call it the penguin. They call it the penguin brigade, where they're like, crowd them! They all rush a single human and stick it in the center with all the sap.
Oh, I like that.
Could you imagine how terrifyingly weird that would be to die like that?
Oh, it would be horrible.
Just suddenly you're
grotesque.
like surrounded and getting hugged on all sides by a Christmas tree. It would be surprisingly festively deadly.
I mean, I will also point out, when you think about the Christmas trees, I mean, in my mind's eye, I'm thinking of a Christmas tree that's not much bigger than myself. I could probably take that out. We're also talking about huge conifers.
Oh, yeah. Over here in the United States, we use big trees in our houses.
Yeah, I mean, we've got big trees over here. Like, we have full forests. that consists of these assholes. You know, and like I said, these are spiky monstrosities that already have needles. All they need to do is get you in a bear hug and straight for the eyes. You're blind.
Now, here is a survival technique that I'm wondering if we could utilize. While we do agree that the artificial trees would still upset the conifers, the Christmas Tree Alliance,
Yes.
I do think it might be a valid form of disguise. What do you think? Can we disguise ourselves to sneak amongst them, super spy style?
I think we are counting out the Christmas trees in terms of their intelligence. I think that the Christmas Tree Alliance is going to be incredibly intelligent. I do not think a ghillie suit is going to fool the Christmas trees. I think it will fool a human at a distance, but it's not fooling a Christmas tree at close range.
True. Okay, I'll give it that. We were comparing them to mannequins earlier. I will say that.
Yeah, it would be the equivalent of literally a wolf wearing a lamb's skin and trying to walk into the herd, be like, "Hey guys, I'm one of you."
All right, so resist centers on us battling. So let's kind of break down the different. Let's summarize this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We have some excellent weaponry on our side. We have been building weapons for centuries. That's just what we're good at, and that's what we have been doing. So we are prepared in good form for this apocalypse. I think this is one of the few apocalypse scenarios where we would actually be well prepared for the fight. However, we can't discount the trees, and I do think that by nature, the human resistance movement would discount the intelligence of the trees, and they would be a little bit full of themselves because they're not counting into the concept the different biological hazards that are associated with trees and the difficulty that it is to actually set them on fire because the trees are prepared. They have been watching fire suppressants. So I think collectively it would be a good battle, and
it would be a mighty battle.
It would be a mighty battle, yes. So I do think resist is an option. So our next subset of survival techniques here is going to be comply. So complying with the trees. So here's the question. What do the trees want? I thought they just wanted widespread murder and just wanted to end all humans. But it sounds like they're wanting to enact some sort of rule over the humans. So here's my question. What is it that they want? What would we have to comply to?
I feel like this would be complete and utter banning of tree cutting down, the use of timber.
Yeah.
Because if the Christmas trees are sentient enough that they consider themselves living and that it's abhorrent to them that we would even have a mannequin depicting one of their dead relatives in the corner of the room, then I feel that like I said, the lumber industry is gone. No more wooden furniture.
But that's acceptable. I can accept that. So are there any other rules that they would enact that would make this a dystopian kind of future?
I'm just trying to think, actually.
Would they stop at trees is the question, or would they go for all plant life? Are we not allowed to have a little fern sitting in the corner?
See, this is the thing, because this depends on the elitist nature of the conifers.
Conifers just look uppity. They just look like they have an attitude. So let's just assume that they will be very elite.
They probably are incredibly elite, and also considering that they are year-round trees, like they don't suffer the indignation of having to drop their needles because of a lack of sunlight or anything. However, I do feel that there is potential that this has been a collective strategy and that the conifers as a whole are the first wave, and all they have to do is keep us at bay until the other trees come back into their prime. And then the grand oaks from the forest, like the Ents from Lord of the Rings, the grand oaks from the forest start emerging, and they really come down with the demands. And they really come down with, how dare you, all of this for thousands of years.
Humans will serve us going for it. I mean, it's true. I do imagine that they would have some type of elitism because fir trees and spruce trees can live like 1,000 years or something. Like they can live a long time if they're not messed with by
Yeah.
humans. So to that end, I'm imagining there's some very ancient trees that will be enacting um, some very um, feudalistic Renaissance style demands of the human race. They have seen how the humans have subjected each other
Mm-hmm.
to torment, and I think that they would be perfectly happy to say, "All right, you reap what you sow. We're gonna do it to you too."
Absolutely. I'm just trying to figure out where this particular tree is. In fact, this is one of the oldest trees in the world, if not the oldest. I'm just trying to find its name. In the Great Basin National Park, thousands of feet above the Nevada desert, there is a grand tree. It's not telling me the information I want. Like, tell me, how old is this tree? Okay. The oldest documented living bristlecone, that's the name of the tree, based on the tree ring data, is 4,853 years old. That tree has seen some shit.
Are we thinking that's like the king tree that's that's organizing all of this?
I don't know if that's necessarily king tree, because isn't there a redwood that's like absolutely enormous?
Yeah, but we don't use those as Christmas trees.
No, but it's still like, because again, redwood is a lumber tree, isn't it? Isn't it one of those ones that has witnessed the death and destruction of many of its family?
I mean, yeah, but are we talking about, because I thought it was the Christmas trees that were rebelling specifically.
The Christmas trees are rebelling specifically, and again, because they are the first wave. But if we're adding further trees into this, then we need a king tree. I feel like this does have ripple effects into other greenery outside of the Christmas trees. I just feel like the Christmas trees would be the first assault.
Now, here's the question that I have. A lot of the demands that the trees would make would require us to comply. So in complying, basically we just serve the trees. I do think that the trees would implement an embargo on all kind of plant life, because they themselves have been subjected to the horrors of being chopped and used for decoration, that sort of thing, for centuries. So I do think that they would put restrictions on other plant life. So
Mm.
agriculture and crops, are we looking at a problem here?
Potentially, yeah, if they consider that this also belongs in their species dynamic and something that they want to protect, then absolutely this will be an issue. But again, it depends on the class system of the trees. Like I said, the trees could be elitist and consider themselves the superior beings, and not give a damn about the grass or the dandelions.
Okay. So it would be dependent. I do think that the risks involved with the comply method is it is a slippery slope.
It is, and
I
I
don't
mean,
think it would
I'll give
stay
you.
in a status quo. It would completely evolve continuously over time to fit whatever the trees have a whim at that time.
My concern with this, one, we do not live as long as them. So my thought process is that they will either look at us as animals, pets, even. Alternatively, depending on how deep rooted the need for revenge is situated in the trees, they could do abysmal things to us, like start making furniture out of us,
Oh,
just
Jesus.
for the sake of it. I am
Lovely.
throwing this out there.
But trees don't need furniture. They don't sit.
Technically, we don't need furniture.
All right. So I think in comply, that's kind of a summary of comply. Yes, it
Mm.
would be probably easiest, but I do think that trees harbor too much hatred for us, and we would inevitably see a slippery slope to get. It would just get worse and
Mm.
worse and worse over time.
I agree.
So I do think comply is an option, is a viable option. Of our apocalypse scenarios that we have gone through, I think comply is probably the most survivable method. I do think this is the most viable method of survival. However, given given our opportunity with rebelling, I think I would be rebelling. Just I understand, yes, my best likelihood of survival would be with complying. However, I do think
Mm.
we have a very good shot of surviving through rebellion. And so I think that the percentage of chance that we have, I think I would go for it. It's a high enough percentage that I would actually be willing to take that risk and rebel.
Mm. I feel like you might be onto something only because I feel like this would be one of these things where the trees would not kill us completely. What's the words I'm looking for? This would be vengeful in terms of, what we have done over thousands of years to them. I feel like they would consider it like an eye for an eye. And so they would keep us alive just to torture us. And especially like if you're saying like comply is a slippery slope, then generation after generation it just gets worse and worse treatment for us until eventually either something comes along and we have the Emancipation Proclamation for just human beings as a whole, and like some kindly elm trees have decided, you know what, this probably isn't right that we're treating these humans like this. Or I'm sorry, I went off on a I went
We're
on a
way
spiral.
off the beaten path here, but okay. We're hypothesizing futures in which actual trees have some sort of cultural identity crisis and are trying to save the humans. So I
It's either
do
that, it's either that, or we rise up against them, and it's just a continuous circle of rising and uprising.
I think that's natural of any type of apocalypse. There's gonna be like a resurgence of any army that we think we've defeated. It's always going to try and rebuild and rise again. So I think the only eventuality I could see is us trying to take down the immediate threat in our area. Now, here's the problem that I see is so many different cultures have adopted the use of Christmas trees. So we've got plenty across the United States and Canada. I think some Mexican families celebrate, but I don't know. So the North
Mm.
and South America continents have Christmas trees, so they would be screwed. Europe
Absolutely,
has Christmas trees.
The Scandinavias, most of Europe, absolutely. We are gone. We are decimated over here on the transatlantic side of things. We are gone.
Does Australia have Christmas trees?
That is a very good question that I shall answer in 2 minutes.
I hate to keep using Australia as an escape, but like it is surrounded by water and might not have coniferous.
Oh my god, yes, they. I don't know if this is what they would use as a Christmas tree, but they do have coniferous trees
All right.
over there, and it does look like it's a pine coney spindly needle, although it is critically endangered, so maybe not.
So we're looking at worldwide rebellion of
Domination.
conifer trees and worldwide domination. So I do think and I know we're launching kind of quickly into our survival techniques that we would personify, but I do think my technique that I would use is the resist. I think that I would be able to use weaponry enough and we have equipped ourselves enough to have a very good shot at taking down the trees. Now, what does the world look like after we have taken down the conifers? I do not know. So it,
Mm.
it, it, it would be devastating ecologically. We would be losing a huge portion of very ancient trees. So it would be devastating ecologically. So we would have to supplement our world, I guess, with either artificially creating more trees or we would have to try to somehow trap,
Oh my god,
imprison
we'd have to imprison the trees.
imprison some
Oh my
trees.
god.
I don't know how we would do that. I don't know how we would accomplish that.
Wait a
Survivors, if
minute.
you have ideas on how we can imprison
Are we
trees,
forcing? Are we forcing the trees into slave labor camps? And
we're
now
not. We're
forcing
just
them
wanting
to
them to
make
sit there and
oxygen?
be happy in the wilderness, but we would need them to stay there. Like they ain't leaving. So it would be a challenge. So if you have ideas on how we could trap a tree, please let me know because I have no idea. But regardless of all that, I do think we are equipped for a rebellion. So my technique I would use is I would resist. That would be my selection that I would choose.
I also would like to go down the resist path. However, I think what I would do, hard as it might be and as turbulent and torturous as it might be, I would try and gather a group of people and head to the Arctic or Antarctic regions through sheer spite and human nature. Try and get our numbers up as best we can in order to form the greatest assault force that has ever been seen.
So just let me get this straight. Your plan is, oh my god, the Christmas trees are rebelling. Everyone go up north and have sex. Like, is that is your plan?
That's not what I said. You are putting words in my mouth.
Is that not what you're talking about? Like, be fruitful and multiply? Like, are we not doing that?
I mean, fair dues, that might be the long-term plan if we cannot do it in the short term. But what I would do is get a group of people, we go up there and we try and increase our numbers by radio signal, by some kind of like emergency broadcast beacon saying, Morse code, for Christ's sakes. There's got to be someone who knows how to send out Morse saying, come north, we are here. The human resistance.
Oh, so you want to gather everybody up north. Okay.
Yes. I want to gather the last, as many survivors as possible to form the greatest rebellion.
I don't know if I would be going up north. It's ridiculously cold. It's hard to survive. We wouldn't have the supplies to harbor any type of society up there.
It's hard to survive, but humans have done it already.
Well, that is an option, but it sounds like both of us are leaning toward resist.
Absolutely.
It sounds like, okay. So,
but as I have already stated that I would like to form a collective group of resistance members, I think that leads us very nicely into our social section.
Yes, let's go ahead and look at some other survivors to work with us here.
As always, we are not judging people based on their looks, simply based on their survivability in a group. And in the specific situation, apocalyptic situation that we now find ourselves in.
So we have our first contestant, I guess you could call them. What are we going to call this guy?
What shall we call this guy? Shall we give this guy a festive themed name?
Kringle.
How about mistletoe? Kringle.
Oh wait, no, we're doing holiday, not Christmas.
Mistletoe?
All right, let's do mistletoe.
Yeah, we have mistletoe first.
All right. So first picture we have of mistletoe, and let's actually preface this. We are looking solely at the survivability of this individual, not the looks. However, I will say in the very first picture of mistletoe, he is flexing in a gym mirror, a very classic image in dating profiles. I will say. He buff. He buff. He got some muscles.
Yeah, he do got buff.
So
absolutely,
he does have a physique that could be utilized as a lumberjack type of physique.
I feel like aesthetically, this guy might be able to be trusted with an axe.
Yes.
Whether that's accurate or not, we will look more into personality in a little bit, but at least from observation alone, it looks like he could wield an axe.
I would agree with that. Okay. Next picture is him in the car. Mm-hmm. Not telling us a lot. Pictures in the car doesn't really tell us a lot. So, I mean, he's wearing a hat and a sweater. That's all I got.
Yeah. But he has his seatbelt on, so he's safety conscious.
Good for him. Okay, so he's safety conscious. That tells us something.
Yes.
But however, he's taking a picture while driving. That's kind of the alternative to safety conscious.
I mean, we don't know if the car is in motion. Let's not.
All right, but he lists his interests here. All right, so he likes tattoos, art and fashion, music, and working out.
Out of all of those, only one of them is something I would be looking for in this apocalyptic scenario.
I mean, good for you. You like tattoos and art. Like, that's awesome. That's awesome for a dating profile, which is exactly what he's creating. But we are here looking at his survivability. And he doesn't strike me as someone who seems very outdoorsy. He doesn't list anything about any type of outdoor activities. All of his pictures are indoors. So I don't think this would be someone who would be prepared to face off with a tree.
I don't see this man as being someone who whittles.
Is that important to you? whittling skill. Is that vital here?
I mean, that is use of a knife on a small piece of wood.
I'm sure you could use a knife. Now, would he be able to use a knife effectively on a small piece of wood? That's the question.
Okay, moving on to the next picture, which again is a gym selfie, actually in the gym this time. This time he's actually wearing some kind of weighted piece.
Yeah, he must be doing like resistance training or something like that.
Mm.
But he's in college, so he's getting a college education. So I mean, that's
Good for him.
That's he's smart. Good for him on that.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell us much about him as an individual, but I'm looking at the next one.
No.
Okay, his job. He's a coordinator of things in the government.
A coordinator of things at government. Right, that's about as vague as I would hope from someone working in the government, actually.
Yeah,
so.
that's very government-esque.
Yeah. Coordinator of things.
Okay, so problems that I'm seeing is not a lot of outdoorsy, naturey type of skill. He doesn't seem very hands-on with his skills. He doesn't seem very woodsy by nature.
No.
However, he is in the government, so if we're looking at our survival technique, he would be able to be kind of like on the down low with what's going on governmentally, facing off with
you
trees.
say that, but you say that, but the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing in the government.
This is true. He's probably a coordinator of some offset of the government that wouldn't really know what's going on with the trees, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like he would be. I imagine this is one of those guys who, this is no judgment on him because I too have been in positions where this is the case, where I imagine this guy is one of the last people to know that something is going on.
Well, he is very focused on his gym. Like he's got like 4 pictures and 3 of them are at the gym. So
Absolutely.
I will say he has his focuses. No, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm perfectly happy of being oblivious to what's going on in the government.
For me, it's the lack of outdoorsiness and the fact that, yep, there's some good gym stuff going on, some resistance training and whatnot. I would have liked to see just one photo of this guy with an axe. And I know that's not a general thing that you see on like dating profiles and this, that, and whatever. But, just for... Because I would now like to retract my idea of giving this man the axe because I don't know if he actually knows how to use an axe.
I don't think he would. And there's, again, nothing wrong with that. It's just this circumstance, this apocalypse, he got to know how to use an axe. So I'm going to go ahead and say
minimum.
An initial no to Mistletoe. I think Mistletoe has a lot of good skills going for him, and I think he would be very helpful in a different apocalypse. This is just not the apocalypse for him.
This is not the apocalypse for Mistletoe, no.
All right. Let's hope that we have better luck with our second individual. Let's look at him. What are we going to go with naming for this guy? Snowflake?
Yeah, why not? We'll go... yeah, we'll go... Or Snowdrop. Or
Snowdrop.
Something.
Hi, Snowdrop. Oh, yes, Snowdrop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have Snowdrop. Snowdrop is 35. He looks tall, or is it just because his head is extending out of the picture frame? Is that...
I think... Yeah, I think that might be camera trickery that's causing that. However, this is only our first picture. Let us move on. Outdoorsy.
Oop, he's sitting on a cliff out looking at the mountains.
Wait. Volunteer firefighter. EMT.
Oh.
I don't need to see anything more. This guy is on the list.
Snowdrop, yes. He's a paramedic student. He's a volunteer firefighter and EMT. And he's outdoorsy and likes hiking and shit. Heck yeah!
I don't need to see anything else.
We couldn't have asked for better besides a lumberjack. Like, that is the only step above him.
I mean, this guy has regular access to axes.
He's definitely, and he's familiar with fighting fires. I'm sure he knows how to light fires just as easily.
Do a controlled fire.
Yeah,
yes.
Like being able to control it so we're not actually wiping out all other trees besides the conifers. So, okay. I'm just kind of scrolling through the rest of his pictures. He's very adventurous. He seems to be in a lot of different environments and settings.
Yeah. Once again, I'm seeing another photo where he looks exceedingly tall.
He does. Does he list his height? Because that's just, it's going to drive me crazy if he's actually tall or if he's just using the picture to make himself look tall. No, he's not.
He isn't listing
He
is a basketball player.
Oh, but he's a basketball player.
So.
All right, so we've got an athletic firefighter
who
knows
has EMT
medical skills. Yeah, EMT.
Yeah.
I think that this could not be a more perfect person.
This is ideal. Snowdrop is who I want on my team.
Snowdrop. All right, so I'm calling it. I'm picking Snowdrop. Snowdrop is our survivor to help us survive in this world.
Yeah. Snowdrop, congratulations. You have made it. Here is your axe. And here is your regulation matches.
Off you go, have fun.
Yes. Make us proud.
So we have our survival technique. We have a ridiculously overqualified survivor with us. We have the rules of the world. So we're all set.
Survivors, please understand that these are completely random when we pick these people.
I will say, I live in the Pacific Northwest, which is constantly on fire during the summer seasons. So it is inevitable that I run across a lot of firefighters in my area. So it was going to happen eventually. It just could not have happened on a more perfect apocalypse.
Absolutely. So Snowdrop, welcome to the team, Sunshine. Make us proud.
Make us proud, boy. All right, so we have our rules of the world. We have our survival technique. We have our survivor. So with all of that, let's go ahead and summarize into our survival odds. How likely are we to survive? And we usually do this on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's go ahead and rate ourselves. I would like to start off and say we are well set for this apocalypse. I think that our number would be lower if the person that we've had as an option was less equipped, if it was more mistletoe than it was Snowdrop. But
yes,
because we had Snowdrop pop up, I think that lifted it a full point, if not a point and a half. Would you agree with that?
I 100% agree with that. Not only do we have someone who is capable of an axe, we also have someone who is medically qualified to some degree and is outdoorsy. This is a guy who ticks all the boxes in terms of survivability for this apocalypse, and gives us a good at least 1 point increase.
All right, so as far as survival goes, I will admit my family uses an artificial tree, and we usually gather up at the ranch on the top of the mountain, so there's not a lot of trees directly in our vicinity, so I think we have a good chance of hiding. I think that we are relatively equipped with materials. My father has like flamethrowers and all kinds of weird stuff in his shop, so whenever I gather at my family's place for celebration, I think we're well equipped, plus our survival partner. I'm going to give myself an 8. I think I'm well equipped for this one. I think I'm actually ready and geared up to go into battle. I am ready for this apocalypse.
See, I have to deduct points for myself because being UK based, I am never that far away from woodland. Yes, I do have an artificial tree. I do have the mannequin corpse in my house as well, so I would be spared that initial onslaught, but that does not mean that there aren't others along my street who do have real trees that will be prepared to crawl their way out of their houses once they have slaughtered their occupants and come knocking on my door.
I think we can both agree that both of us would survive the initial wave. This is one of the few apocalypse scenarios where we're surviving the first wave of death. Like, we can agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are at least getting out of the initial wave. I will be able to survive this, but I would have to survive this by managing to get on some kind of boat that is heading north, I feel. Because there aren't many places around here that are just completely devoid of forests. In fact, we are very proud of our national woodlands in the UK. We go out of our way to preserve them. You know, there are streets that just have trees on them. It's unlikely, but I am not too far away from an active port. I just need to get onto a boat.
Okay, so that's your survival technique. So with all of that accounted for and your survival buddy, what are we thinking?
And my survival buddy, I would count myself. I see myself having a good 6.5 out of 10. It's not the best scenario, but it's potentially one that I have better odds getting out of than not.
Okay, so we can probably average between the two of them. So I gave myself an 8. You're getting a 6.5. So are we thinking like a 7.25?
Yeah, I think so. 7.25.
7.25. All right. So we have a 7.25, which is weirdly specific for us in this apocalypse.
Very specific. Yeah.
In our not approved podcast, we're totally scientifically accurate here. So we're looking at a 7.25 survival option. That's good. That's good. That's a good Christmas. Heck yeah.
That's good, and I do feel as well that humanity as a whole probably does have a good chance of surviving this, but the years and the struggle will be hard.
All right, so it sounds like we have some pretty good survival odds here. We're going to go ahead and wrap up for now. We had some great conversation, but let us know if you have any ideas. We really want to hear about your opinions on this world. This is an odd one, yes, but we have some really good feedback from you guys, so we'd love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on your survivability in this apocalypse.
I mean, Taylor says that this is odd. This is no odder than some of our previous apocalypse scenarios, nor is it going to be any less odder than some of the ones that we have upcoming for you into next year and continuing through the rest of this year, which is not long left.
Next week is going to be a doozy. Be sure to tune in for that one because I'm very excited about that one.
That is going to be a good one. That's going to be sweet.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you so much for listening. Please do visit us on any podcast platform. We will be there. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and subscribe, please. We'd love to have some more engagement from you guys. We just love hearing from you. And we'll go ahead and set up our artificial trees, I guess.
Absolutely. Don't forget your artificial trees. And also, don't forget to follow us on social media wherever we might be found. You know the places.
Have a good one. Stay safe out there and happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.